Chapter 33 of John Smith's Funny Adventures on a Crutch, or the Remarkable Peregrinations of a One-Legged Soldier After the War. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Shelley Weingart. John Smith's Funny Adventures on a Crutch, or the Remarkable Peregrinations of a One-Legged Soldier After the War by A.F. Hill. Chapter 33. How Not to Open a Patent Lock. Wishing to visit some portions of Iowa, I started up the Mississippi in June on a boat running regularly between St. Louis and Keokuk, an Iowa town or city with a population of 8,000 situated at the mouth of the Des Moines River. It is 224 miles above St. Louis. Only one funny thing happened during my voyage from St. Louis to Keokuk, and probably one of the parties concerned could not have been led to agree that even that was funny. It occurred during the day following our departure from St. Louis, while the boat was lying at the landing at Quincy, a city of 25,000 souls on the Illinois shore. The boat laid there for half an hour, I know not what for, as no freight was being shipped or put ashore. During that brief half hour, two sharpers came aboard. They were Confederates or pals, but pretended not to know each other. In fact, one of them, whom I shall style Number 1, although they were both Number 1 rogues, came aboard a few minutes before the other, whom I shall call Number 2. He did not go up to the cabin deck, but stood on the boiler deck, talking with the deckhands, most of whom were darkies, and asking such questions as were calculated to convince anyone that he was badly green. By and by, Number 2, Esquire, came aboard carrying a kind of padlock in his hand, and with a respectful manner said to Number 1, "My friend, can you tell me how soon this boat will go up the river?" "No, sir," replied Number 1, "I just came aboard." "She go up the river in a little bit," put in one of the darkies that were lounging idly about the bulkhead. "Thank you," said Number 2, who appeared to be a perfect gentleman. He was walking up the steps leading to the cabin deck when Number 1 called out, "Stranger, excuse me, but are you the gentleman I saw up in town with the new patent lock?" "Yes," returned Number 2, pausing on the stairs. "This is it. Would you be kind enough to let me look at it?" "Certainly," returned Number 2, with an obliging air, as he descended the stairs. "Perhaps," suggested Number 1, "you are in a hurry, and—" "Oh, no," replied Number 2, "not at all. I intend to take passage on the boat, and I can go up to the office at any time and pay my fare," and he handed Number 1 the lock. "I believe I heard you say," observed Number 1, as he began to inspect it, "that this is your own invention?" "It is," replied Number 2. "Have you a patent for it?" "Yes, it was patented but lately." The deckhands and several passengers, who happened to be strolling about the lower deck, now collected around and gazed on the lock with curious eyes. "Did I understand you to say," queried Number 1, "that no key is used to open the lock?" "Correct. No key is required. I can simply take it, shoot the ring bolt into its place, and I'll bet any man $100 that he can't open it." The spectators looked on with increased interest. "Lock it for me," said Number 1, handing it back to the owner. "I would like to try it." "Certainly." Number 2 took the lock, a spring lock apparently, shot the bolt into its place with a snap, and returned it to Number 1. "There," he said, "you'll be the sharpest man I ever saw if you open it." The spectators now gathered around closer and looked on with an interest that was intense. Number 1 took the lock, inserted his finger in the ring bolt, and took a dead pull on it. "It won't come open that way," he remarked, as he pretended to scan it more closely. "No," replied Number 2, "you might as well pull against 2 yoke of oxen." Presently, number 1 appeared to discover a slight, almost imperceptible protuberance, which looked as though it might connect with a secret spring, and pressing it slyly, he opened the lock and handed it back to number 2 with an air of triumph. "There," he said. "When you invent another lock, bring it to me and I'll open it for you." A loud laugh went round at the expense of number 2, who seemed much disconcerted. "Ha, ha, ha!" laughed an ebony deckhand. "If all de locks was that easy opened, a fellow's property wouldn't be very safe." "You can't open it," retorted number 2, a little irritated. "What'll you bet?" said the darky. "I'll bet $100 you can't," said number 2, whom discomfiture seemed to have rendered reckless. "Will you bet me $100 that I can't open it?" asked number 1 boldly. "No," returned number 2. "You have opened it once and know how, or else I would. Why didn't you bet before you tried it? You would have won then." "I'm sorry I didn't now," said number 1. "Oh, pshaw," said the same darky who had spoken before. "I seen how him opened it." "Well, you can't open it," retorted number 2 banteringly. "And will you bet me $100 I can't?" said the darky, on whose black face I could read enterprise. I happened to be sitting by the railing of the cabin deck just above and could look down and witness the whole scene. "Why, yes, I will," stammered number 2, with well-feigned hesitation. "You'll lose then," number 1 said in a low tone, as though speaking to himself. "Will you put up the money?" pursued the darky. Yes, I will. I won't be backed out even if I lose. I'll put up the money in the hands of this gentleman or anyone else." When he said this gentleman, he pointed to number 1. "You'd better not trust me with the stakes," said the latter jocosely. "I might run off." "Oh, no fear of that," replied number 2. "We'll trust you. I know a gentleman when I see one." "By golly, I bet," said the darky decidedly. And he produced a $50 bill and some odd 10s and 5s amounting in all to $100, and he handed the money to number 1, who was to act as stakeholder. "Come now," said another darky to number 2, as the latter hesitated. "Don't back out. Put up your money." "Confound me if I'll be backed out," he said, as he took out his pocketbook, counted out $100, and handed it to the stakeholder. Oh, that money was in precious hands. "Now," said the darky, who had made up his mind to win or lose $100, "fix de lock for me." Number 2 fixed it. The darky took it, at first, merely as a matter of form, took a pull at the ring bolt. It would not open, of course. Well, no matter. He knew where that secret spring was, you bet. He easily found the little protuberance and pressed on it with his thumb, but it wouldn't open. He pressed harder. No go. He pressed harder still and pulled harder at the ring bolt at the same time. Bootless. He pressed harder still and pulled harder still. Vain efforts. He got a little apprehensive and a little desperate. The sum of $100 was at stake. The lock must be opened. He inserted the ring bolt between his white teeth, placed his thumb on the imaginary spring, and pulled and pressed and pressed and pulled with the energy of despair. The lock was firm, his efforts futile. A laugh now went round at the poor darky's expense, and he trembled perceptibly, while his face assumed a sort of lead color with a greenish tinge. His thick lips also became quite void of moisture, and he spoke in a husky voice. Dunno, whether I can open him or not." "I don't think you can," said number 2 calmly. The poor darky saw that his stamps were gone. Still, he tried it once more. He shook the lock, and something loose within rattled with a taunting sound, tapped it against the capstan, pulled at the bolt, pressed the delusive spring, pulled and pressed again and again. All was in vain. He gave it up, but, oh, with what a poor grace, and handed the lock to number 2. "I believe there's something wrong about it," he said. "It seems I've won the money," number 2 observed carelessly, and number 1 handed him the $200. Another laugh went round. Oh, the heartlessness of human beings! What they would regard as a grave misfortune if it happened to themselves, they look upon as an excellent joke when another is the victim. "That's nuffin'," said the darky, trying to appear unconcerned. But oh, how poorly he succeeded. "Nothing when you get used to it once," observed one of the spectators soothingly. "But it takes a fellow a deuce of a time to get used to it," put in another unfeeling passenger. Poor darky turned away, as sad a picture as I ever saw, went and took a seat on the capstan, and tried to whistle a careless tune, but his clumsy lips were dry and unsteady, and he couldn't get them puckered in any sort of shape. "Confound it, if I haven't come near forgetting my valise with this fooling," said number 2 abruptly after he had stowed away his money. "I left it up in Quincy and must go and get it." So he walked down the gangway plank, up the wharf, and disappeared in the city. "I wouldn't be surprised if that fellow were a regular rogue," observed number 1, gazing after him. "I intend to keep my eye on him," and he too went ashore. Soon after, the boat backed out from the landing and proceeded up the river, but neither number 1 nor number 2 were among the passengers. End of chapter 33.